Yo, this is Kenyatta Farid with Hip Hop Motivation. I got my main man, Dr. Farid Zarif. I've been knowing this man since I was about 8 years old, maybe something like that. No. Yeah, maybe Now, back in the 80s, man. Like since I was about 8 years old, my cousin took his karate class. He is also a master at what type
martial arts, karate, wushu, and taekwondo.
Exactly, and he's also a doctor. Tell them what your field of medical.
I work in the field of bariatric medicine, which is obesity and weight loss. And this is a very important thing today because all of us, most of us, are like victims of of obesity and overweight because of the way that we eat. I also specialize in bariatric nutrition, human nutrition, which is what we eat and those things that we eat that become a part of us. So tonight what I want to do is talk to you about how can we get you started on eating the right things, because if you've got my book already, or if you know already read the book Slaves of the Tongue, you know better. Now we want you to do better. You see, we've been eating the way that we've been eating because we're addicted to this certain way of eating, but we're actually being a part of this slavery mentality. Right. So we want to discuss some of that. And there's some innovative things. Yeah,
and that's a great topic to speak on, because I actually just started following the nutrition method, the whole layout that you give in your book about starting your day off, like what is it called, what is it called, the
circadian rhythm.
Circadian rhythm.
Yeah, yes.
Circadian rhythm. Yeah. And so far it's been great.
It's the way, the closer you are to nature, the healthier you'll be. Right. The farther you get from nature, and that's when we're eating all this artificial food, the more unhealthy that you'll be.
The junk.
Yes.
The junk.
So if you have somebody that, like a girlfriend, your mother, your uncle, or whomever, this is the time to get them on with us right now, so that we can help them to not only understand what to eat, but when to eat it.
Wow. Okay. So how does a person how do you eat healthy on a small budget and you're in the hood? Because as you see, there's no Whole Foods in the hood. There's no health food stores usually in our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? So how do you maintain a healthy lifestyle in the hood, in the ghetto, wherever you're at?
Well, one thing about, like, we have in the more like lower class or lower income sections, and even in some of the middle income sections of the community, there are always 99-cent stores, dollar stores, these kinds of stores.
Grocery stores, of course, you can buy your fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, but what I was saying, the 99-cent stores, because they have like vegetables and they have produce in the 99-cent store. So when you understand that, and there are, those are a lot of commercial foods that are sprayed with fungicides, pesticides, and herbicides, but we need to understand that all we have to do is get like a organic rinse or wash, and then that can help us to get rid of what the vegetables and fruits have been sprayed with.
Where you get that from?
Well, you can actually do two things. You can make it yourself. You can go and get a bottle of organic or this organic dishwash liquid. Okay. And you can take that, add water to it, and you got the same thing that they do when you buy in all of that stuff. Right. Because this is fancy packaging and stuff,
that you're paying for.
Exactly. Right. So you take that and then you wash it off, and then you can go to 99-cent store. You can buy anything you can buy in the grocery store. They have it in the 99-cent store. Oh, okay. And what happens is, I'm glad that they have the 99-cent store, because usually they would just throw all that stuff away. And it's just, America throws away 1/4 of all the foods that it purchases. We have twice the amount of food that can feed everybody in our country. So our meals, all the stuff that we eat, we have twice the amount of that to feed us. But we abuse food, and we also overdo it. There was a time that we always thought about, God, man, I'm starving to death. You will hear that. Now, today, people are dying because they're eating themselves to death. It's flipped. So now we can die from overeating instead of undereating. Hardly anybody dies from malnutrition, or starvation, I should say, because malnutrition is actually when we're not getting the nutrients in order to sustain our lives.
That's interesting. I know, by me knowing you, I know that you were in the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
How important was the book How to Eat to Live for you, and in today's food in the market, and how everything's, as far as the GMOs and the different organic and inorganic foods that are out there? How important is that book today, and is it still relevant, or what do you think?
I think that it is still relevant because it meets people right where they are. When I was a child and when I was coming up, I came up in the Nation of Islam, which I really respect greatly, because that was a process that I needed very much as a man. And I think obviously it's helped incredible. It's touched a lot of black families, black men and women, so forth. I'm non-denominational now, but however, in my growth, it helped me tremendously to understand about, not eating white grains like white sugar, and eating the white flour, and things that are processed, the different types of oils. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was way ahead of the game. Way ahead of the game.
One of our smartest ever, one of our best,
Incredible. Back in that time, about telling us, especially, that was really, really unacceptable within the Christian society when it came to eating pig. And that was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was saying, no, we don't eat pork because it's nasty, and we shouldn't put that in your body. It's not meant for it. And that was a whole new way, and a very instrumental, very important step that I took in becoming, and now I'm a scientist, and now I can understand all of that he said earlier on. So the Muslims in the United States, those that I knew then, they were like, I would always look how beautiful their skin was, and eating like bean soup, eating bean pie, eating salads. When they talked about like eating the different meats, it was always like the best part of the meat. Eat the loin of the meat. And then there were some other things that were just really helpful. Even boiling your water. Now this is like 40 years ago. This is when I was a child. So when I was taught that you can take water and you can filter it, but there's some of the bacteria that we can't kill. So when you boil the water, some of the things that are harmful still stays in the water. Like today,
even when you buy from a store, like bottled water.
Because a lot of that water, if you read it, it'll say filter water, and some of it'll say spring water. Spring water is supposed to come from the spring or flow of water, a body of water. But the municipal water that we get, that just is the filter water, that the municipal meaning coming from the aquifers right there in the community, underground. It comes up, and it's if you go to any market or any supermarket, they have the big machines out there, but you look behind them, it's connected to the market. There's no sacred water or anything. It's just a market that has a vending machine that you can purchase water in.
Absolutely. Yeah, see, my mission right now is I'm on like a health mission, so for me, my goal right now is to lose about 50-70 pounds, let's say.
Yes.
And so the circadian rhythm, so far I notice it's worked for me so far, because I'm not starving and I don't feel like I don't feel weak or tired eating that style of diet. So how does a person, say for instance like myself, how do you lose weight and maintain the weight to where, does your body fall where it needs to be? How does that work, like as far as weight loss?
All about equilibrium and balance, whenever you're balanced in anything, this principle, whenever you're in balance, if you have a balanced relationship, you're going to get the optimum output of that.
Absolutely.
If you have a balanced body, you're going to get the optimum output of that body. If you have a balanced car, you're going to have the optimum balance, optimum power coming out of that car. Anything in science is all about the balance. So when you get to your balance, whatever that is, your optimal weight, and what you're putting into your body to give you the optimal energy is going to be incredible. And as you notice that you eat like about 5 to 6 times a day on the rhythm diet. So you'll eat like that first in the morning. You'll eat, and that's like
you said wake up with fruit. You said fruit is the best thing to eat in the morning.
That is correct, because there's no
water, fruit.
Yeah,
water, fruit, right?
Because the fruit is also known as detergent food. So these are the cleansers, the fruit. But it also gives you enough fructose or enough sugar in order to give you energy to get started. It's also a great way to initiate evacuation of waste. So the first thing you want to do in the morning, you want to get that waste out of you. What is waste? Waste is toxic. It is after we use everything we can use, and then the body gets rid of it. Yes, that's correct. So that is important in the morning. Everyone should be doing that in the morning, not the afternoon, not the evening, in the morning, right in the earlier part when you start. And that is the beginning of your day. So there's a whole lot of great things you can do in the morning to do, but starting off basically drinking water and eating fruit.
So is there something that you can do also in the evening to help elimination in the morning?
It is the way that the body works. So we have a sympathetic nervous system. We have systems that the human body is so incredible because the systems actually take care of the body. If we help the body to strengthen itself, the body will take care of itself. So we can do things like at night, the body's purpose is to rest and to repair. So by rest,
sleep is important as well.
Super important. It's overlooked because this is a time that apoptosis takes place.
Apoptosis.
Apoptosis is the dying off or fluffing off of dead cells and the renewing of new cells. Every person's body goes through apoptosis. And when we rest, our body starts to heal whatever we've broken down. Like I work out a lot, so when I rest and I might be sore.
Is that why you get sore? Like like the next day, like for instance, Michelle, Carolyn, and their sisters, they all went to the stairs. And the next day, like this, say for instance, this morning, they felt sore. When they woke up, but they didn't feel that way before they went to sleep. That apoptosis, is that?
Well, that's part of it. Part of what they feel with the soreness is called inflammation. See, so once you get rid of the inflammation, you get rid of the soreness.
So is there anything you can eat or take for that? Is that
well, again, we go back to rest. And of course, they have all vegetables are anti-inflammatory foods. All plant life, all of the plant-based foods are anti-inflammatory foods. Natural medicine. So if they went and they worked and they climbed and they ran and they did their squats or whatever, and then the next day you feel like, oh my God, I can't hardly move. Well, that's just the inflammation, because what you did is you broke down. There's a lot of microfibers that have little tears, a little breaking down of the muscle, and sometimes that's what it takes. If the muscle is like this and you need to stretch it a little bit, it's going to be a little painful. But when those fibers come out here, when they heal, now you have more range of motion. So you got to go through it to get to it. You got to go through a little pain in order to feel better.
So as far as the book process, you have a book called Slaves of the Tongue, as well as another book that I read years ago. What should I eat? What is it called? What should I eat? What time should I eat it?
It is what should I eat and when should I eat it?
And when should I eat it? Right. That's a good book. And that book is based around the circadian rhythm.
That is correct. Because see, there's nothing else happening. Is somebody at the door?
No, they can come on in.
I can go and check it. Let me see.
We keep it real up in here.
All right, sure. There you go.
You keep it real over here.
Yeah, I want to. Thanks.
You're not on camera, I don't think.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, so we're back. We're back. We're back.
And we were talking about
we were talking about the circadian rhythm in like
Yeah.
the book, What Should I Eat, When Should I Eat It?
Yeah, well, you know, like when it comes to the circadian rhythm, it's really based on, we have what is called a suprachiasmatic nucleus. And that is a part of we also have a hypothalamus, and that is housed in the hypothalamus. And that is the part of our brain that allows us the sensitization of light, of music, of other things that keep us up and to keep us active.
Okay.
You know, but it also detects, or it keeps our body up when we sense light from the sun. It wakes us up. Okay. And when the sun goes down and it gets dark, now we start to relax.
Okay.
You see? So,
which is another form of melanin, they say. Like the darkness is like.
Oh yeah, darkness is definitely.
Is that why people take melatonin as well? Because that helps with sleep, I heard.
Yeah, our bodies actually produce melatonin, but they take it exogenously, which means from not inside, on the outside.
Right.
And they take these like when it is processed, and it does help. Some people say, "Oh, I like it." It usually tastes like candy or something. But you know, if you are in balance, back to that balance, you will go to sleep. When it starts to get dark, your body will cooperate with nature. And it's just when your body doesn't cooperate with nature that when it's time for you to go to sleep that you're up, which is called insomnia. So when we overeat at that last meal, like we had this big dinner and then we're just guzzling all this food and drink, well, it doesn't make sense. The body wants to go to rest now, to go to sleep now, and we have all of this energy that keeps us up, so a person can't go to sleep because while their body is digesting food, the heart speeds up, more blood goes to the brain, the vision or perceptions become more visual, thoughts become more animated, and if you override that, it's called a nightmare. You know, like when people, or call it also night trauma. It's usually because you're overworking your mind and your digestive system.
Wow. So if a person wakes up, let's say at 9 o'clock in the morning, well, let's start here, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
First thing they should take inside in their bodies is water and fruit.
Yes.
Okay. From 7 o'clock to what time should be the first? What do they do after that? Like what? If
they get up at 7 a.m.
Right, 7 a.m.
Yes, from 7 to 8, you got the time to eat your first meal, and then so let's say 6, because people usually get up
about 6
on average. So 6. Then 8 o'clock you have a bridge, and then that's protein and fruit, or protein and like you can have like a smoothie, but it's protein and fruit, and all the way up until it's time the midday, which is 12. So you have 6 o'clock your first meal, 8 o'clock your first bridge, and your second bridge, or so-called snacks. These are the time. I don't use snacks because people think of junk.
Right.
So the bridge, it's the meal that bridges you over to the next meal. So 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 p.m. is your largest meal. Now this is the time that we should be eating protein.
12 o'clock.
Yeah, 12 o'clock in the midday.
Midday.
Yes, because protein is the largest molecule that the human body digests.
Okay.
So we need to digest that during the middle of the day instead of reserving it for the end of the day, because again, remember, we're going to run into the problems with not being able to sleep. Insomnia, overworking the heart, such as some of the things, sudden heart death that black men lead in. Well, guess what just took over deaths of black people?
What's that?
Abortions. Since 1970,
wow,
there's been over 8 million abortions. So black woman, you got to start looking at that in a different way. You know, you're killing our people. We cannot continue to proliferate if we continue killing to be born children.
Absolutely.
And sometimes there is a reason, that may be a medical reason, or her life may be in danger, but right now it is done just like, it's a everyday, it's no kind of extra thought put into it. It's almost like, hey, this is just what I do. This is just the thing you do when you get pregnant. 8 million children have died, 8 million abortions since 1970. Just want to put that out.
800?
8 million.
8 million, okay. 8 million abortions since the 70s?
Yes. The 8 million, that's
wow.
That's
well, let's talk
800,000.
Well, that's a great place to start. The late term abortions that are going on by the police. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you feel about the whole Black Lives Matters movement, and as far as all the police brutality going on?
Well, I think that, I think Black Lives Matter is a beautiful thing when you're talking about Black Lives Matter, but let's look at the full scale of that. If you're going to talk about Black Lives Matter, talk about Black Lives Matter when a black man kills another black man. Talk about Black Lives Matter when you have these young boys that form these gangs, and they're both black gangs, but they're after each other and they're killing each other. They're both black. Talk about Black Lives Matter should matter when we have brothers that are abusing sisters with their fists and stomping them and beating them like they're dogs, and that's black on black. When a child is being beaten like a slave, that's black on black. When a brother is calling another brother, a king to king, they're calling each other niggas, and every other derivative of nigger. See, and a lot of that stuff is upheld. It wasn't started by, but it's upheld, it's propagated, it's continued to flow because some of our greatest leaders in our communities, such as rap artists, hip-hop artists, R&B artists, comedians, all types of, I went to a NBA game, a pro game, while it was in motion, and heard the brothers calling each other nigga, nigga, nigga this, nigga this. I mean, playing ball right there. I mean, it's like, to me, I get probably overzealous about it. I don't think you can get overzealous about it, but I think that when it comes to like Black Lives Matter should not just scream when a white man kills a black man. They should not just scream when a black woman shoots a black man. They should scream louder when black people are killing black people, because we stand for, right now, we represent over 78% of all of the black deaths in America are black people doing it to black people.
Absolutely.
So if Black Lives Matter, let it matter when we kill each other and when we denigrate each other, when we chop each other down, when we kick and stomp each other's brains out, and when we're kicking each other's doors down, and when we're robbing each other, and when another black man rapes another black woman or a black girl and she can't protect herself. That's Black Lives Matter, that we treat each other with value.
Absolutely.
That we treat each other like we matter.
Right.
Like we matter to each other.
Because I talked to some elders, and like one of my clients, he's in his 70s, and he was saying what's interesting is that everyone is up in arms and they tripping off of this whole police brutality thing, but there was a time when he was coming up that was normal, and it was more going on back in the day than it is now. And he's more appalled by black on black crime than he is by the police doing that, because that's sort of normal. What do you expect? You
expect that from them because they've been taught to hate you.
Right.
The thing that we have to understand also, that these continued atrocities are allowed because black men aren't speaking up when they have a little black brother getting killed. They allow them to do that. The stuff that we getting out there talking about, we shall overcome, and putting out that white Jesus, they're going to continue doing that because that's the same bullshit stuff that they've been doing for the longest. And they don't change it, and they know that, you know what, they're going to get a little slap on the wrist. The woman that just shot the brother with his hands up, he died, and then she was I don't even know if she's been charged yet.
Nah, she hasn't been charged yet, but she's saying that
She thought she heard
didn't hear.
something.
Yeah, she heard something.
See, which is, there's no excuse for it. This is a brother dead, and here comes some other bullshit that they're going to talk about how it happened.
Right.
And so, why everybody gets caught up in that, and they know that usually what's going to happen with the black society, the black community has amnesia and narcolepsy.
Absolutely.
So, they're going to go to sleep on it, and they're going to forget about it.
And it's being televised because they know fear shuts down your melanin.
Exactly.
It shuts down everything consciously that we can do and provide for our families and our people.
Absolutely.
Fear shuts everything down.
It's just like they did the same thing to us on another level. This is the same fight we've been fighting. Usually when Jack Johnson, for instance, would win a fight. Now, Jack Johnson is way, way back past my great, way back there. Something back there. Great. But Jack Johnson is known, and it's in history, that when Black Johnson used to beat their white heroes, they used to hang all around the nation. They would hang brothers because of their jealousy.
Absolutely. To also balance out the fear tactics.
That's correct.
Right. Well, to instill more
fear.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because they understand that fear shuts down consciousness.
Absolutely. So a hanging wasn't just about oh, you did bad and you wanted to run away, or you talk back to the slave owner or whatever. And you notice I don't ever say slave master.
Right.
They were masters.
What about white supremacy? You say that as well? The thought of be careful with those words. Supremacy.
Yeah, right. Because you give them too much power. I ain't saying no white slave master. He ain't a master.
He's not supremacist of nothing.
Exactly.
About him. Yeah.
So when you have that, getting back to the hangings also served as a message.
Absolutely.
That's why they did things. They would take them and they would castrate them in front of all of these black people and say, yeah, you do this is going to happen to you.
So here we are today.
Yeah.
If it was going on then, what's going on today is being televised the same exact way. It's sending a message.
Absolutely.
And so what you have to do is you have to come to a realization and overlook that message.
Yeah.
And stay consciously aware and focused on where it is that you need to go and how you're going to help your people.
Exactly. And that's the organization of black people, all about power. We are the most powerful, powerless people on the planet.
Powerful, powerless
people on the planet.
Absolutely.
We got a lot of power, but we don't use it. And we give all of it. As soon as we get money, we got to give it right back to where we got it from.
Well, it has a lot to do with, these people, a lot of us don't have knowledge of self. Self-knowledge is the key.
Yeah, I agree with you.
On every level, whether it's health, whether it's wealth,
absolutely.
It's just a simple rule. Knowledge of self, understanding natural law principles, understanding balance, understanding all these different things that play a part in raising consciousness.
And when you take the opportunity to be black, and that means that black is a verb. It is a verb. It's a behavior.
Right.
So if you are black and you are afraid that you're going to lose your little buddies because you black, your friend's going to say something, you got a white friend or a white relative, or they, in the most part, when you talk to them, they understand your struggle in being proud of being black. If you talk to them, and they usually tell you that I stand with you, I understand what it feels like, or they understand the oppression that we want to overcome. So it's really incredible.
And it's strange that people don't understand that. And I feel, and the way I feel about it is any white person or any person of any race that sees what's going on and they don't feel some type of way about it, they're racist. You're a racist if you don't understand.
And it doesn't mean just because you love yourself that you hate somebody else.
Absolutely.
Because you can spend more time in loving yourself than you are like, ooh, there's a white guy, I hate him. That's racism.
Right.
And some people say, well, you can't be racist, no, that is the racism.
We all have biases.
Yes.
We all have biases.
And jealousy and
envy and all types of different
prejudices.
Yeah.
But when it comes to that, it's like if a white man calls a black man nigga, is racist. But if a black man calls a white man hunky, is not racist. And that's what we've been taught, that a black man can't be racist because racism is systemic and it's all about power. Yeah, in the context of institutionalized racism, but in the context of an individual, if you got a brother that's out there just yelling out this bigotry, then he's a bigot. And he is just as racist as that white dude saying porch monkey, you little nigger, you little whatever. And we got to understand that we shouldn't use our power to rip each other down, but use our power to lift each other up. And when we see another black man, we even afraid of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because we have drank the Kool-Aid.
Yo, this is Kenyatta with Hip Hop Motivation. First of all, I want to tell everybody out there, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing to our YouTube page. And if you haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to our YouTube page, make sure you do so. Stay in tune. We have a lot more to come. Peace. Yo, you can either think of a master plan or get mastered by somebody else's plan. Check it. As a barber, one of the most important life lessons I learned is to never do anything without seeing the ending result first. Before I understood the value of seeing results, I used to waste a lot of time sometimes doing double work because I didn't have a vision of where I was going. Then I started taking consultations more serious by not even turning on my clippers until I had a clear understanding of the result my client was planning to see. And in turn, it became easier to achieve the style they wanted to see in half the time. Real talk, the most successful barbers and beauticians are the ones that see the ending results before they start any service. Write this down. Before making any moves, know where you're going. Deciding from thoughts of being sick and tired of something, starting something, or admiring something can be the emotions that fuel change. Because write this down. Emotion leads to passion, passion leads to action, and action leads to results. Word up. Question: what's the #1 killer of dreams? If you said fear, you're wrong. Fear is on the list, but it's not the #1 killer. The #1 killer of dreams is comfort. The comfort of a good paying job or in an active relationship can seduce us for many years into the rhythm of accepting things without making any moves to change, further numbing us into a state of zombie-like passiveness. Write this down. Passiveness will cause your dreams to pass you by.
Dash thing. Nah, I don't want to chill out, bro. You know what I want to do? Believe in yourself. Build your own personal wealth. Then that becomes personal health. Think I'm rhyming. How about that?
Everything go down here. Just gotta, know what I mean, be a little smart.
I see you grooving right now. I was in my groove. Yeah. I started daydreaming. I started thinking about something.
I'm a musician.
Yeah, exactly. I like to spend all kinds of money. I like the dollar, I like the euro, I like the pound, I like the franc pause, I like the yen.